Hey family, this is what you call a lasagna, but it's a lasagna my way. You know, I always say use what you got, okay? I did have to go to the store and get a couple of items. I already had the sausages in the refrigerator, but I needed the ricotta and the Parmesan cheese and mozzarella. I didn't have any bell peppers, so I used a jalapeno deseeded and then some onions. So I took the Johnson sausages because I didn't have any ground beef and I just slit them so that I could take the casings off. As you can see here, I just cut them down the middle and then remove that sometimes it's sheepskin or cow skin, whatever casing to get your actual meat out of it. This is the meat that I'm going to use to make my meat for my lasagna. And it adds a depth of flavor, you guys, that regular ground beef doesn't have. This lasagna is going to have a little kick to it because some of the things I used were what I had. And so you can see me taking the sausages out of the casings, adding the onions and the jalapenos to it, and then I just start cooking that down. Essentially, if you have ground beef, you can use ground beef. If you have bell peppers, use bell peppers. And so then I just went and I added some garlic. I like fresh garlic, okay? I didn't have any, so I used my garlic in the jar. And then I used about 3/4 of a can of tomato paste. This is also going to enrich the flavor. And at that step, I also seasoned with onion powder, garlic powder, salt, and pepper that I didn't catch on camera. And you're just going to stir everything in and go ahead and boil your noodles. If you don't have the oven baked, the raw noodles you can put into your thing, I had the regular noodles, so I just started boiling them. And I added my can of tomato sauce. Use what you got. If you got Hunt's, use it. If you got Ragu, whatever you got, just use it. This is the key to me to a good lasagna. I use ricotta cheese. I love ricotta cheese, okay? But I feel like it doesn't have enough flavor. So I use a heck of a lot of Parmesan in there, mozzarella, and I put flat leaf parsley in it. But I also season the heck out of my ricotta cheese. I put onion powder, garlic powder, salt. I use white pepper instead of black pepper, and I mix it all in and I taste it before I put my egg in, because once you put your raw egg in, I don't taste it anymore. But I want to make sure that the ricotta has a flavor, and the mozzarella cheese helps it be this cheesy pull that you need. So yeah, so I was making a small dish of lasagna, and I did have some meat left over, just FYI. So if you want to cut it down, I use the whole pack of sausage to maybe 3 of those things if you're doing a small pan like myself. The one thing that I noticed on my second level is you can overlap your noodles. Don't be scared to do that. So I did them one way, long ways on my first layer of the lasagna, but then on the second layer I turned the noodles the cross section way, okay? And then I just overlapped the noodles. So I started with sauce, noodles, and then I put my cheese mixture on, spread it out with the back of a spoon, and then I put my meat mixture on top. And as you can see here, I'm laying them the opposite way, and then I started to overlap them. This lasagna only had 2 layers, which was perfect because it's just me and my son, and we had it for leftovers for a few days. So as you lay it the cross section, as you can see, the noodles are overlapping the pan. Don't be scared of that. We just gonna cut that on the side so that they fall in, as you can see here. And then you're gonna top it with all of your cheeses you got left. I had some cabot, sorry, sharp cheddar, mozzarella, and Parmesan. And you're gonna put this thing in the oven. Now for me, I like my cheese to get a golden crust like so. You hear me? I don't want mine to be like, I want it to have a crust, because it's something about good cooked cheese like makes this crisp and it's so flavorful. When I tell y'all, this lasagna will put it at another level because you're adding not just plain ground beef, you're adding your sausages. You're not just putting bell pepper, you're adding jalapenos. You're flavoring each layer to this bad boy. And it's going to have just a little bit of that back end spice or heat because I put a can of rotel tomatoes in the meat sauce. That's what kicks it up a notch as well. I forgot to mention that. Y'all, when I tell you this lasagna was so good and it got even better, it was so flavorful the first day because of the layers of flavor with the rotel can of tomatoes and tomato sauce and the jalapeno. When I tell you, try this. If you do, let me know that you like it as much as I do. Love you guys. Have a great day.